I want you to stop and take a breath right here, right now, because this moment, not tomorrow, not some imagined future, but this very instant is the fork in the road. This is the moment where your life bends, where it breaks open or breaks down, depending on one single thing, where you place your energy. You spent years pouring yourself into expectations, into noise, into distractions, into people who never once returned your fire. But now is the time to call it back. Call back your focus. Call back your energy. Call back your power. You see, no one told you this, but your energy is sacred. It is the single most valuable force you possess. And every time you waste it worrying about what others think, chasing approval, or waiting for permission to rise, you are draining the very force that could make you unstoppable. Greatness doesn't come from scattering your soul across 1,000 tasks that don't belong to you. It comes from alignment, from pouring everything you've got into one thing, yourself. You are the mountain you must climb, the fire you must ignite, the masterpiece you must create. So today, not tomorrow, not someday, you focus all energy on yourself. You begin again, but not from scratch. You begin from wisdom, from scars, from truth, from the hard-earned knowledge that the outside world cannot fill the void that only inner power can reach. Imagine your life as a field. What grows there is entirely up to you. Each thought is a seed. Each action, a drop of rain. Each day, a chance to cultivate something extraordinary, or to let weeds take over. You've been planting for others too long, watering someone else's dreams, following someone else's map. But here's the truth. Their path is not your path. Their light cannot illuminate your soul, and their approval will never replace the fierce, roaring certainty that comes from knowing you are walking your own road. It's time to silence the noise, shut out the critics, cancel the comparisons, and listen, for once, to the only voice that knows the way forward, yours. What do you want? What lights you up? What future can you see burning like a beacon if only you had the courage to focus on it completely? Because clarity isn't found in the crowd. It's found in stillness, in solitude, in the sacred silence where truth rises like steam from your soul. The world tells you to hustle, to grind, to keep up. But success without purpose is just a faster route to emptiness. So stop right now and ask yourself, what am I building? And more importantly, who am I becoming? Because everything you do is shaping you. Every habit, every thought, every reaction. You are sculpting yourself with each decision. And the most powerful decision you can make to stop running toward others and start walking toward yourself. This isn't selfish, it's sacred. When you focus on yourself, you fill your cup. And only when your cup overflows can you give to the world in a way that is real, lasting, and free. But when you chase approval, when you bend and shrink and twist yourself into shapes that don't belong to you, you are living a lie. And the truth always rises. It comes back in the quiet moments, in the late nights, in the exhaustion that no sleep can fix. That is your soul starving for your own attention, so give it. Tend to your inner fire like a sacred flame. Feed it with your focus, fuel it with your discipline, protect it with your boundaries, and then, only then, will you see what happens when your energy is no longer leaking but building. You become unstoppable, not because you're chasing something, but because you finally come home to yourself. And here's the truth that no one wants to admit. No, because it demands too much. You cannot fake greatness. You cannot pretend your way to peace. You cannot shortcut the path to power. You must earn it through focus, through self-mastery, through the relentless commitment to your own becoming. So when the world tries to pull you off course, and it will, you stay anchored in your why. You remember who you are and who you are becoming, because energy flows where attention goes. And if your attention is scattered, your life will be too. But if you focus, if you truly focus, every thought, every action, every ounce of strength on becoming the most powerful version of yourself, there is nothing you cannot do, not because it's easy, but because it's yours. And that is where power begins. Understand this. Your mind is not just a place of thoughts. It is the battlefield where your future is won or lost. And if you do not learn to master it, to fortify it, to control its wild, wandering nature, then you will live enslaved to your fears, to your past, to the opinions of others who have never walked a single mile in your shoes. The greatest war is not out there. It's not with circumstance or competition. It is within you. And victory belongs to those who choose to take full command of their thoughts. You have to become ruthless with your focus, merciless with your attention. You have to become the kind of person who disciplines the inner voice, rewires it, trains it, until it no longer sabotages but serves. Because your thoughts are architects. They build the house you live in. And if you keep repeating the stories of your limitations, you'll stay locked inside the prison of your past. But when you start speaking the language of strength, courage, purpose, your mind begins to obey, it begins to align, and eventually it begins to lead. That's where transformation begins. Do not underestimate the power of mental imagery. Olympians don't just train their bodies, they train their mind to see victory before it happens. Before a race is run, it is won in the mind. Before a business is built, it is built in vision. Before greatness becomes real, it must first be imagined, clearly, vividly, and repeatedly. So what are you imagining? Because whatever you dwell on, you are rehearsing. Whatever you rehearse, you become. And if you are mentally rehearsing failure, chaos, and defeat, you will live it again and again. But if you start each day with intention, if you rise not with fear, but with vision, you become the author of your day. Craft your morning like an artist. Write your goals, speak your truths, move your body, train your mind. Every single morning, remind yourself who you are, Rick, and who you refuse to be any longer. Because your identity is not fixed. It is not fate. It is a choice. And when you choose to focus all energy on yourself, not in ego, but in evolution, you reclaim that choice over and over again. There is nothing more dangerous to mediocrity than a person who knows who they are becoming. That clarity is power. It becomes your compass, your North Star. And when the storms come, because they always come, you won't drift. You'll stay anchored, rooted in purpose, focused on your highest self. And here's something they never taught you. Discipline is not punishment. It is devotion. Discipline is a love letter to your future self. It's saying, I see who you can become, and I will not let you down. But that requires sacrifice. Sacrifice of comfort, of distraction, of all the small, easy habits that feel good in the moment and destroy you over time. You cannot rise while clinging to the weight of what's easy. Discipline isn't about being rigid. It's about being free, free from the pull of chaos, free from the addictions to validation, comparison, and approval, free to pursue your mission without apology or hesitation. And what is that mission? To unlock the fullest, fiercest version of yourself and to build a life that reflects it in every detail. To become so rooted in purpose that nothing, not rejection, not failure, not fear, can derail you. But purpose doesn't arrive like lightning. It's revealed in motion, in momentum, in the act of doing. You don't wait to find it. You create it. You test. You try. You fall. You rise. And in the process, you discover, this is who I am. This is what I stand for. This is what I'm willing to bleed for. Purpose isn't something you write on a wall. It's something you etch into your character. And when your actions align with your purpose, you become a force the world cannot ignore. Now let's be clear. Alignment is not convenience. It is conviction. It's waking up and doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. It's having the discipline to keep your promises to yourself when no one's watching, when no one's clapping, when there's no reward but your own self-respect. Because that's what this really comes down to, respect. Do you respect your own energy enough to protect it? Do you respect your own vision enough to pursue it relentlessly? Or are you still waiting for someone else to give you permission? The door is open, but you have to walk through it. And walking through that door means letting go of who you were, letting go of the need to please, letting go of the idea that success is something you find out there. It's not. It's built brick by brick, decision by decision, habit by habit. Your habits are the blueprints of your future. And every single day, you're either reinforcing strength or reinforcing weakness. There is no neutral. So ask yourself, what am I rehearsing? What am I repeating? What am I becoming through the rhythm of my days? Because your destiny is hiding in your daily routine. Success doesn't show up suddenly. It sneaks in quietly, steadily, through consistent action. Show me your habits, and I will show you your future. Resilience. This is the trait that separates those who talk from those who rise. Everyone wants success until it requires pain, until it demands endurance, until the storms hit and the path disappears beneath your feet. But those who are focused, those who are fierce in their commitment to themselves, they don't run from the storm. They walk into it, head held high, eyes forward, unshaken. Because they know something most people don't. The obstacle is not the enemy. It is the gateway. It's the fire that burns off everything weak, everything false, everything unworthy of your highest self. Resilience is not born from comfort. It is carved from trial. It's the echo that remains when the applause stops. It's the strength that rises when no one sees the struggle. And make no mistake, struggle is sacred, because struggle reveals you. It shows you what you're made of. It shows you what you believe about yourself, and it gives you the chance to rise, not in spite of your hardship, but because of it. You want to become unstoppable? Then learn how to keep moving when everything says stop. Resilience is not about having all the answers. It's about refusing to quit while you find them. It's about adapting. And that's the next key, adaptability. Life will not follow your blueprint. It will break it, it will rip it up, burn it down, and force you to build something new. So you better learn to pivot. Not everything is meant to go as planned. And that's not failure, that's intelligence. The ability to read the room, to feel the shift, to evolve while others cling to what no longer works. Nature survives through adaptation. So must you. The rigid break, the flexible rise. And if your focus is locked inward, so if your energy is anchored in your purpose, then change doesn't scare you. It energizes you. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And you start asking, what is this trying to teach me? Because that's the truth. Everything is a lesson if you're awake enough to receive it. Which brings us to the most underrated form of power, learning. Never stop learning. Never stop upgrading your mind. Because the world will keep changing, and those who don't adapt die standing. Read, listen, reflect. Study your own failures like a blueprint. Don't run from them. Don't hide your wounds. Your scars are the proof that you were tested and you survived. You want wisdom? Then earn it. Earn it through observation. Earn it through humility. Earn it by realizing that the biggest breakthroughs often come after the biggest breakdowns. Every fall is an invitation to rise stronger, but only if you pay attention. You must become a student of your own life. Track your patterns. Notice what triggers your weakness, what fuels your strength. Audit your circle. Audit your time. Audit yourself. You are the CEO of your existence. Start running your life like it matters, because it does. And here's the hardest truth you'll ever face. You've always had the power, but you were too distracted to notice, too diluted by the opinions of others, too dependent on outside validation to hear the whisper of your own genius. That ends now, because now is the time, not next year, not when the stars align, not when everything feels safe, now. This is the only moment you ever truly own, and if you waste it, if you squander it waiting for courage, waiting for clarity, waiting for something outside of you to fix what only the inside can heal, then you are giving away the very thing that could transform your entire reality. You don't need more time. You need more focus, more self-respect, more hunger, more fire in your soul that says, I will not betray myself another day. You have one life, one shot, and every second you spend focused on the wrong things is a second you steal from your own greatness. So stop, breathe, and remember, it has always been you. You are the one you've been waiting for. You are the solution. You are the source. You are the foundation, the architect, the builder, the masterpiece. And the world will not give you your power. You must claim it. Focus all energy on yourself, not out of ego, but out of purpose. Because when you rise, when you become who you were born to be, you lift everything around you. You become the lighthouse in a world that has forgotten how to shine. Let others stay distracted. Let others waste their time chasing illusions, but not you. You are done dimming your light to fit into spaces that were never meant to hold you. You are done watering dead plants, chasing broken paths, doubting the very soul that brought you this far. Now is the time. Stand in your strength. Stand in your silence. Stand in your purpose. Let your focus become your fuel. Let your energy become your legacy. Let your life become the undeniable evidence that when you choose yourself fully, you awaken something unstoppable. There is a moment in every life when the mirror becomes more than just glass. It becomes a question. It looks back at you not with reflection, but with challenge. And it asks, who are you when no one is watching? Who are you without the mask, without the roles, without the noise? Can you meet your own gaze and say, I have not abandoned myself. That moment is now. This is the reckoning. This is where you decide whether you will live the rest of your days reacting, drifting, waiting for something to change, or whether you will rise, not perfectly, but powerfully. Imperfect, but unstoppable. Because power is not found in flawlessness. It is forged in self-respect. And there is nothing more powerful than a person who has stopped waiting to be chosen and finally chooses themselves. So if you're tired, good. Let that weariness burn off the false identities. If you're angry, good. Let that fire incinerate your excuses. If you feel lost, good. Because now you're finally ready to find what truly matters. You. You are not here to shrink. You are not here to explain yourself. You are not here to live on the edges of your potential. You are here to expand, to evolve, to live with such intensity and depth that even your silence commands respect. So take the risk, cut the cord, leave what's safe but stagnant, because your soul wasn't made for smallness. It was made for greatness. Not comfort, but contribution. Not applause, but alignment. Not imitation, but immersion into the deepest truth of who you are and what you're here to do. Yes, it will hurt. Yes, it will stretch you. Yes, people will misunderstand you. Let them. You're not here to be understood. You're here to become undeniable. And when you finally turn all your energy inward, when you stop scattering your fire and start feeding it, you ignite a chain reaction, your thoughts sharpen, your habits align, your path reveals itself, and the life you were born to live begins to take form. Not because it's easy, not because everything suddenly gets smooth, but because you finally stop betraying yourself for scraps of validation. This is what greatness costs: your comfort, your distractions, your excuses, and every old story that says you can't, so burn it all down. The doubt, the fear, the old identity that no longer fits, and rise not as a version of someone else's dream, but as the original, unapologetic, fully awake force that you are. You've waited long enough. You've dimmed long enough. You've lived by other people's timelines, opinions, rules long enough. Now is the time, not later, not after one more book, one more podcast, one more sign. Now place your energy where it belongs, on the only thing you will carry with you until your final breath, yourself. Because when you go all in, when you cut every tie to hesitation and pour every ounce of fire into your own expansion, you don't just change your life, you change your world. And that, right there, is what you were made for. So focus. Fully, fiercely, finally. Now is the time. Focus all energy on yourself and become who you were always meant to be.